You know when you look at a company's financial report and you think, wow, everything looks great. I mean, profits are up, costs are down. But what if I told you that those shiny, good numbers could actually be hiding a total disaster? Today, we're going to dig into a case study where the data looks positive, but it's really telling a very, very dangerous story about a company's strategy. And this quote, man, it just nails it. This is the world we're stepping into, a world of premium products where quality isn't just some marketing buzzword. It's everything. It is the entire business. So what happens when a company that built its entire reputation on being the absolute best starts to cut corners? All right, let's meet the company at the center of this whole mystery, natural spices. Now, these guys are a big deal in the high-end food scene, and their name is built on one thing and one thing only: excellence. I mean, just look at their profile here. Everything about natural spices just screams premium. They're not selling to your local diner, they're selling to gourmet shops and top-tier restaurants. They're not using decent equipment, they're using state-of-the-art plants. Their entire brand, their whole identity, is a promise of uncompromising quality. Okay, so this brings us to a really important idea, the critical success factor, or CSF. Think of it like this. It's the one thing, the single most important thing a business absolutely has to nail to win. For a budget airline, the CSF is probably price, right? But for a company like Natural Spices, selling to the best chefs in the world, their CSF is 100% quality. And that is what makes their next move so confusing. So, with quality as their guiding light, their North Star, management makes a decision that seems to fly right in the face of everything they stand for. And this, right here, is where our detective story really kicks off. Because the clues to this massive strategic mistake, they're hidden in plain sight, right there in the company's financials. The decision was simple: cut prices to sell more stuff. It's a classic business move, sure, but for a premium brand like Natural Spices, for a brand like this, that is a massive gamble. They're essentially shifting from being the best to maybe being the cheapest. And that is a very dangerous game to play. So what happened after they pulled the trigger on this decision? Well, the numbers tell the story. Let's open up the case file and take a look at the evidence. At first glance, this looks pretty good, right? Look at all those Fs for favorable. Sales volume is way up, purchase prices are down. Seems like the strategy worked. Case closed? Not so fast. Any good detective knows you can't just look at the surface. We need to dig a lot deeper. All right, time to put on our analyst hats and really decode what these financial clues are trying to tell us about the real health of Natural Spices. Okay, our first clue is the purchase price variance. Let's break this down. The logic behind this one is actually pretty simple. It just measures if you paid more or less for your raw materials than you thought you would. For exam purposes, you'd want to think about keywords like procurement efficiency or cost control. Basically, it's a report card for your purchasing team. And the number is, drumroll please, 10,000. Favorable. That means they spent $10,000 less than they budgeted for raw materials. On paper, that's a home run. The purchasing department probably got a bonus, right? But wait a second. Let's ask the critical question here. In a business where your entire reputation, your whole brand, is built on using the absolute best ingredients, how do you suddenly spend less on them? What's the hidden cost of getting that good deal? And here it is, the twist. The most likely reason they saved all that money is because they started buying cheaper, lower quality spices. So yeah, they saved a few bucks, but at what cost? They're literally chipping away at the foundation of their own brand. Next up on the docket, the labor efficiency variance. So the logic here is to measure how productive your team is. Did it take them more hours or fewer hours to get the job done than you planned? The exam keywords you're looking for are operational efficiency and labor productivity. It's all about how much you get out of your team's time. And guess what? Natural Spices had a favorable variance here too. Their workers were more efficient. But this wasn't some miracle of new technology. It was probably because they were rushing production, cutting corners, and just stretching their skill people way too thin. And you know what happens when you're rushed, right? The first thing that goes out the window is quality. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. We've got cheaper ingredients, we've got a workforce that's probably burnt out. Now let's hold that up against what the company says it is. This is where you see the real conflict. It's like you're looking at two different companies. On the left, you've got the brand promise: high quality, gourmet, premium, consistent. On the right, you've got the reality: lowering prices, buying cheap stuff, and squeezing their employees. They're trying to be a premium brand and a budget brand at the exact same time. It's a total identity crisis, and it's a recipe for disaster. And that brings us to the one unavoidable conclusion. In this mad dash for more sales, Natural Spices is sacrificing the single most important thing it has, its quality. They are actively undermining their own critical success factor. So the verdict is in. The numbers looked great, but the story they told was absolutely terrible. The big question now is, what should management do to pull the company back from the brink? So how do they fix this mess? It's really a three-step plan. First, they need to start treating these numbers like a continuous health check, not a one-time report card. Second, they have to create a culture where people can raise the alarm immediately if they see quality starting to slip. And third, and this is maybe the most important, they need to get out there and actually listen to their customers. Those gourmet chefs, they'll be the first ones to tell you if the spices don't taste right. This quote from the source analysis just ties it all up perfectly. The company tried to chase a new market, the price-sensitive one, and in doing so, they went directly against their core strategy of being a high-quality leader. You just can't be both. So we end right where we started. When does a good number tell a bad story? It's when that number is achieved by sacrificing the one thing your customers value the most. It's a huge lesson that strategy has to drive the numbers, not the other way around. Okay, time for a quick key takeaway flash. 1. Always look behind the numbers. A favorable variance is not always your friend. 2. Never ever compromise on your critical success factor. For Natural Spices, that was quality. And 3. Listen to your customers. They are always your best and final quality check.